Welcome to InfoHub. In our headlines, when it comes to renegotiating the ExxonMobil contract, the second and third time may be the charm, according to a renowned petroleum expert and consultant. Qualified Guyanese pathologist overlooked for Lindo Creek autopsies, and we'll tell you why Guyana is our own. Stay tuned for the details of these and more.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
We begin with Paul McAdam, who tells us why an international petroleum expert feels that renegotiating the current ExxonMobil contract could spell bad news for Guyana.
The petroleum expert and professor shared his view with the media last evening. According to Sir Collier, it would be best to stick with the current oil and gas contract that Guyana has with ExxonMobil.
This government inherited the contract, as far as I understand. It's the first license. There'll be other licenses. There's quite a lot of oil. You know, it's quite a good idea gradually to get some other operators in. As you get some other operators, you'll be able to compare one against the other. And there are various clever devices you can do to kind of, in a way, get one to police the other. What I would really caution against, I think as far as I can see, you've got a reasonable deal.
Sir Collier further opined that when the first company enters a country's oil and gas sector, it is usually not as good for that particular country as it would be for the second company that follows.
The first company comes in, shows that, gosh, there's a lot of oil there, it's feasible, and so then other companies start to really get interested, want a slice of the action. And so the second deal you get will be better than the first, and the third will be better than the second, and so on. So what I'd suggest is you use this as an opportunity to do some more licenses over the next, 3-4 years, get some other operators in.
It would be disastrous to tear this contract up, he emphasized.
If you tear this contract up, nobody else will come. That is the brute reality. Governments have to establish credibility over the contracts they sign. And if the first contract you've signed you tear up within a couple of years of it, you're dead. And so the terms you'll get on any other contract will be much worse. So credibility is vital. I wouldn't worry too much, to be honest, because you're going to get quite a lot of money.
According to Sir Collier, the current arrangement suits Guyana well and will see ExxonMobil recouping its cost within the first 4 years. After this period, Guyana will collect much more revenues, and this, he feels, is a quite sensible arrangement. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
The new acting Prime Minister, Carl Greenwich, has described Wednesday's high-level ministerial caucus on the oil and gas sector as an exercise in realism, which addressed in detail the peculiarities of the sector and how the resources can be prudently managed. Stacey Carmichael has the details.
The ministerial caucus featured presentations by a number of experts in the field, including renowned Professor of Economics, Oxford University, Sir Paul Collier. The discussions allowed President David Granger and ministers to grasp an understanding of what is happening internationally as it relates to oil and gas. Acting Prime Minister Carl Greenwich, speaking on Wednesday at the close of the event, said discussions focused on many of the issues Guyana currently faces as it prepares for the new industry.
Of what the analysis by the experts is about what to look out for, how to decide on policy, and so forth. The full spectrum of things, including how to deal with sometimes what appear to be the predations or ravages of a press. And in a lot of things, they drawing to our attention that what we may regard as peculiar happenings in Guyana as regards arrangements in the petroleum sector, whether it is our agreements, contracts, or the behavior of the press or attitudes of the public are not peculiar.
Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman said the event achieved its objective of having informal, uninhibited discussions with the experts on oil and gas governance, wealth resource management, sovereign wealth funds, and effective communication with citizens.
Oil and gas governance, wealth resource management, sovereign wealth funds, communicating with the people, how do we involve them some more, how do we put aside suspicions about, all kinds of backdoor deals and so forth. So it was good for us to talk amongst ourselves. It was good for us to talk to experts about what obtains elsewhere and to realize as well that we are not far off the radar or that we are no different place than other countries were 2 years after discovery was made.
Similar sentiments were expressed by Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan.
It has opened our eyes to the extent of understanding the difficulties in oil sector can be to the country and to the people, and how to manage expectations, how to do a number of the good governance of the oil sector, how to set the structures, the frameworks, and how to get the organization right, and what are some of the special needs that will apply to the peculiarities of Guyana, especially with the context of a Venezuelan or a Western neighbor.
Meanwhile, Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson highlighted the areas his ministry will be focusing on.
We should be concentrating on the core infrastructure projects, energy, roads, linkages, bridges, and those things like that. To link our coast and hinterland and to make the place more accessible to our people. So that was the message which I took, and obviously which I'm going to try work to implement going forward.
For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
As Caribbean countries and members of the Organization of American States aim to achieve connectivity for sustainable tourism, the role of information communication technology and the removal of certain barriers to entry are seen as essential. Crystal Stull has the details.
During her address to the 24th Inter-American Ministerial Congress at Marriott Hotel, Public Telecommunications Minister Catherine Hughes explained the significant role the ICT sector plays in the development of the sustainable tourism industry and its supply chain.
Access to the internet has had a massive impact on the travel and tourism industry, with the development of millions of websites, reservation systems, online booking agencies, access to online tour operators, and of course the traditional travel agent. Major technological developments over the last 2 decades, especially the development of the mobile phone and its transformation into what we now call a smartphone, supporting high-speed data services such as 3G and 4G, have truly transformed our global tourism industry.
Chief Executive Officer and Secretary General of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, Hugh Riley, at a later press briefing, said for connectivity to be achieved, the reduction and removal of certain barriers to entry around the Caribbean is necessary.
Intra-Caribbean tourism is critical, but that also has to work hand in glove with connecting people who want to come into a particular catchment area of the Caribbean, wherever that hub might be, and then enjoy the benefits of intra-Caribbean tourism. So the whole business of twin destination or multi-destination tourism has to be properly explored and has to be properly implemented, which means that we have to fix the connectivity and we have to just reduce and remove some of the barriers to entry that we have.
The theme of this Congress is Connecting the Americas through Sustainable Tourism. It is the first ever OAS meeting to be held locally and brings together ministers and high-level authorities of tourism as the organization seeks to enhance the region's multi-destination potential. Crystal Stahl for InfoHub.
The OAS 24th Inter-American Congress of Ministers and High-Level Authorities of Tourism continued with local exhibitors selling a bit of Guyana at the Marriott Hotel. Letitia Isaacs was there and filed this report.
The exhibitors include representatives of airlines, hotels, indigenous groups supported by the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, tourism agencies, resorts, and a host of locally produced products being offered by the New Guyana Marketing Corporation in collaboration with the Agriculture Ministry. InfoHub took its cameras to the hotel to get an idea of what the exhibitors were offering.
We're here promoting our safaris. For these safaris, we try to promote domestic tourism because we want Guyanese to have the opportunity to travel into these destinations, learn about the history, understand the culture, see what these people have to offer.
We're here at a conference to basically showcase what we provide and offer at Iwafarma. We are, as you know, a sustainable conservation area that is focused on sustainable tourism.
We offer fine dining restaurant, and we do have a mango tree bar also for the simple relaxation after work or during the day, So we showcase bringing out what we offer with regards to accommodation and services.
We've been flying for 6 years, but out of Guyana for 5 years. We have 5 to 6 flights a week coming into Guyana from North America. We are a sustainable airline after being here for 5 years. And the tourists, the diaspora, we bring in a lot of people into Guyana.
So we saw this as an excellent opportunity to showcase locally agro-processed commodities, because agro-processors are one set of our stakeholders. Our aim is to create market opportunities or attract market opportunities, especially international market opportunities for our stakeholders.
The 24th Inter-American Congress of Ministers and High-Level Authorities on Tourism wraps up today. For InfoHub, Letitia Isaacs.
In this report, we hear that in 2008, Guyanese pathologist Dr. Nihal Singh was bypassed by the then PPP government for the post-mortem examination on the remains of the 8 miners at Lindo Creek. Alexis Rodney has that report.
Dr. Nihal Singh is one of 2 local forensic pathologists with over 25,000 post-mortem examinations to his credit. Yet the Commission of Inquiry into the Lindo Creek massacre learned today that he was overlooked by the former PPP government when it was time for an autopsy to be done on the remains of the victims of the Lindo Creek massacre. The autopsy was reportedly conducted by a Jamaican team headed by a regular doctor. Dr. Singh appeared before the COI today, informing that he was neither officially contacted by the government nor participated in any autopsy on the burnt remains of the 8 miners.
On Monday, I was at home looking at the news, and I heard that they had brought all the bones out. I said, good for them, thanks. Less work for me. Then on Thursday, the same week, I got a call from the then Commissioner of Police, Mr. Green, and he said to me that Dr. Singh, that the government is going to fly in a team from Jamaica.
Dr. Singh, who is currently the head of the pathology department at the Georgetown Public Hospital, told the former police commissioner that he will not be part of that autopsy. Asked his opinion on what he would have done were he given a chance to perform the autopsy, Dr. Singh said that the situation will have been considered disaster management.
If I were there, for example, I would have had 8 different, as close as possible to the representative. Now, as I said, I don't know if they were on top of each other. It doesn't matter. I would have taken that. Because you must see an outline. There would be an outline, unless they're totally burnt, like if you had a cremation. But I saw bones and I saw skull on the photograph. So you put them separately, so it's easier to examine. Easier to examine. And that would have been the best way to do it.
Added to that, Dr. Singh said he will have requested the presence of a forensic anthropologist since he does not have that qualifications. He told the COI that this was communicated to then Commissioner of Police Henry Green, but the suggestion was never adhered to. Alexis Rodney for InfoHub.
We now bring you a final report from Seneca Thorne. She tells us about a new tune that wants everyone to remember that Guyana is our own.
The tune, who officially launched today at the National Communications Network studio, kicked off the Ministry of Foreign Affairs public awareness campaign on the Guyana-Venezuela controversy. Blaise Antonio explained that the song was created to develop a sense of patriotism amongst Guyanese citizens, especially the youths.
I was given the opportunity to present a more updated song to connect to youths and also work as a reminder and something to make Guyanese feel more aware of what is exactly taking place, and also to empower them and give them that feeling, that powerful feeling that yes, this is our own, Guyana is our own.
Acting Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Greenidge encouraged all citizens to embrace the song in the same way they did in the 1980s when Dave Martin's song Not a Blade of Grass reflected the solidarity of Guyanese and increased awareness of the matter.
This is not a replacement, but a complement to that. The issue itself is still with us, and I'm happy that one of our young citizens of Guyana could help us in this way by producing a work of such quality.
Earlier in the year, the government announced that it will be embarking on a massive public awareness campaign on the Guyana-Venezuela controversy. It was suggested that a song would be most effective, particularly among the young people.
To protect our land is the golden key. Cherish it like the air we breathe. With respect to the arbitral award, 1899, sign and verify facts you can't deny. Still they want to try, conquer and divide.
Sneaker Thorne for Info Hub.
Check our website or Facebook page for more details as we bring you updates on developments across Guyana and further afield. Thanks for watching, and remember to connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.